Hello and welcome to the package AR Tower Defense for Android and ARcore. In this first part of the video we're going to show how to import everything you need in order to make the package work. First of all, you have to notice that the version that we're going to use for Unity is 2018.3.5. Otherwise, the version 2019 is not going to work properly. You have to go, secondly, to the ARcore SDK for Unity. The link will be in the asset store. When importing the file, you will see the following folders. You will have a Google ARcore and a Play Service Resolver. Import both into your project. You will have the Google ARcore with different scenes and scripts that you need to make this package work, and then you will have the Play Service Resolver also with the editor. Finally, to export it to Android, go to Build Settings, Player Settings, and you have to go to the XR settings and enable the ARcore supported value here. You will have to select also Android in order to make it work into your Android device. The most important game object in the scene is the nav mesh. The nav mesh has to be disabled in order to export to Android. But if you want to make some tests on your PC, you can enable it and test the game. Notice that maybe an error will appear regarding the light estimation. Don't worry about it, hit the pause button and you will be able to test the game as you can see here. Let's explain how the nav mesh works. The nav mesh has a baked mesh in which the tanks will move. Then inside the nav mesh we can find the game with environment and all the things you need to make the game work properly. Tanks will be instantiated inside the nav mesh and they will move in the scene in order to destroy the player. By clicking on the red spots, you will be able to build towers and update them. Let's build some towers in order to prevent the enemies from getting to our players. When a tank gets to this point here, as you can see, the life of the player will be reduced. Resources will also change when building towers. For example, if we build a tower here, here, and here, the resources get to 0 because each of the towers cost 100 gold items. To update the towers, we need resources. So let's get the game working while we explain the different parts of the nav mesh in more detail. The game inside the nav mesh has different managers. The managers are used to update the score, move the tanks, or change the different towers. The score manager is the one that is going to change the different gold items into towers, or it's going to manage the scores and the money we earn by destroying the tanks. So for example, now we have 100 gold items that are reflected in the gold variable here. It also manages the health of the player. If we move to the tank manager, we can see that we are using a tank prefab. The tank prefab is just one of these game objects that you can see in the scene. At the same time, it uses a origin and a destination. The origin and destination are set also inside the nav mesh, and there are transforms that are used to move the tanks from one point to another. If we go to the tower manager, you can see that we have also two different prefabs. One will be the tower 1 and another one will be the tower 2. Those are also prefabs that can be changed easily in your game. Let's wait for the game to get to 350 gold items in order to be able to change one of the towers into a bigger one, or more complex one. If you don't want to wait, you can go to the gold and change it directly to the value you want, as I have done here. So now we have the resources to build a second tower. The second tower will have more power and will be better against enemies. Finally, in order to finish this tutorial, let's talk a little bit about the scripts. The main script is the AR tower defense that is set to the AR controller script. Here, it changes the nav mesh position to the point that is being selected by the user when it taps on the screen, and sets the nav mesh to an active game object. The bullet script is used to move the bullets from the origin to their destination. So each of these bullets that are instantiated in the game are controlled by this script here. The self-destroy time is a script that enables the destruction of a game object. For example, if the bullet hits the tank, it will be destroyed. This is the script that manages that. The score manager, as we have talked about it before, is going to change the values of the gold and is going to set the health of the player. The set camera, it's a simple script that is going to detect the camera of the first person camera inside the ARcore device, and is going to set it to the different parameters that need to be referenced to that camera. The tank manager is going to instantiate the different tanks over time and increase the difficulty of the game. The tank movement uses a mesh agent in order to move the tanks along the different paths of the game. The tower is set to the tower prefab, as you can see here when you open the tower 1, and in fact it's the script that manages the movement of the tower when it faces the enemy. As you can see here in this game, the tower is going to move accordingly to the position of the player and it's going to shoot in that direction. The tower base is the red spot under the tower, and it's a script in order to select and call functions in order to open the different canvases. So for example, if I want to update another tower, in this case the tower in the middle, I have to call a function inside that tower base script that will allow the tower to change from one type to another. In this case, we have updated the second tower in the center. And finally, the tower manager is going to change the different towers and it will be like a container of all the information needed by the towers. So this is all regarding the AR tower defense. I hope you like it. I hope you consider downloading it and supporting our work in the future. Please subscribe to our channel